We haven't seen anyone hold that putt all day. And there you can see for the second day in a row, our announced birdie's the final hole of the day. Climbs into a tie for the lead. A two-shot swing there on 18.
And I think it's a case of we'll see you tomorrow, Miliozzi and Arnaus, but not in the penultimate group. Tomorrow it will be as the final pair heading out in the magical Kenya Open. Both players carding their lowest ever European Tour rounds. High fives all round.
Yeah, they're obviously very comfortable with each other. You saw a lot of fist bumps. You saw them congratulating each other on good shots and putts and that type of thing. So it bodes well for them tomorrow. They're comfortable with each other's company. And when you go out trying to win for the first time, you're already nervous. So if there's some comfort level when you get to the first tee, that's going to help these guys.
Well, let's have a look at the surprise of the day, brought to you by Dubai Duty Free. And it goes to the right-handed, but sometimes left-handed, Louis Diaga.
I think the surprise is the fact he's hitting with the back of the club, not the front base. Not once. Possibly twice in the same round. There it is. Upside down again.
I suppose a bit of a surprise having started the day with a 4-shot lead. He's going to end the lead in the day out of the top of the leaderboard. He's 2 behind Miliozzi and Arnaus. Their confirmation. Look at those scores though. Look at that. 66 from Bulla, 65 from Arnaus, a couple of 64s from Samoya and Miliozzi.
And it's good golf, isn't it? Tough course, tough pins.
There really have been, Tony, there have been some interesting pin placements. This shot is really a tester because you've got that pin on the front right of the green. So you've got to come in over that bunker and you've got the wind from right to left. I think, in fact, I know that he's going straight at the flag here. He wants to finish off with a birdie. He knows if he can finish off here with a birdie, he can have a good sleep tonight, knowing he's only 1 behind. Still got a chance of winning this championship. 165 yards is what he's got left, so this will be probably a hard 9-iron. Beautiful high draw. Get up there.
Oh man. What a goal shot that is, from the right side of the fairway to an extremely difficult flag.
Of course, he can't see it. That bunker hides the bottom of the flagstick, but what a shot with a poor angle here. Tight right front hole location, wind out of the right, trees just narrowly right at his trajectory. By far the best shot we've seen all day. Now, that being said, not much room between the ball in the hole to get a better shot.
No, he's left himself the very best putt too, a little uphiller.
Jackson Bra, 139. Exact same that Diaga had. Let's see if he can pull off the same sort of shot. Doubt whether he can beat it.
Now with the firm green, we've seen quite a few balls up there in the back level, the back portion, the cut down left to right of the slope. It's a tough one.
And all the troubles he's had today, the last word from Louis Diaga looks like it's going to be a very positive one.
Yeah, and you know what? That's a great way to end the day. He hasn't had the best of days. He's only even par for the day on a day when we've seen a lot of really good scoring. But he's going to end with a birdie. I mean, that's a kick in, uphill, I mean, right center, there's nothing to it. You're going to make that, 11 times out of 10. So, he's going to end in a good way. That's 13 under par, 1 shot behind the lead. And as you said several times today, Richard, he's having his bad round in the 3rd round, the way Harding did last week when he went on to win. So it might bode well for the South African.
And instead of sleeping on the lead as well, as he did last night, now a little bit of pressure's off. Obviously, it's a big deal for all these players that are up there on the leaderboard to try and chalk off the win, but just the expectations lessen slightly when you've not four ahead, you're now one behind.
I think it is easier as far as the pressure. What's the pressure you put on yourself? And it all depends on how you deal with it. And when do you feel the pressure? Do you feel the pressure in the morning, or do you feel the pressure when you get to the golf course? You know, in playing, everyone is different. But I think that this birdie, in such grand style, will really give him confidence going into tomorrow.
Yeah, and it's such a rarity, isn't it, for anybody to have 4 really good rounds. This is a different round. He's just going to brush it in, and it'll still be a subpar round. So highs and lows today, but he's 13 under and only 1 behind after what he will consider a poor outing. Still in it, right in it.
After shooting 64, 66, that 70 is going to feel like about a 78. But as you said, you forget about that. I'm 1 behind, let's go out there and try and win. And that's a mentality he has to take into tomorrow. I'm sure he will.
Just 2 pars on that back 9 for Louis Dio. A couple of bogeys and 4 birdies.
Well, that is a wonderful birdie there for Louis Dio. Let's not forget he's finished under par again, 70. That's not a bad score. A lot of rounds worse than that this week. This man now is putting down the hill. He's got to putt down into the first level here, and the putt's going to turn from left to right. And as it starts down that hill, it's going to be very, very quick. So you've both got to get the pace and the line correct.
Would you take 2 putts from here all day long, Dale?
I absolutely would. And I would take a 70 in the 3rd round.
Not a bad looking line.
Oh,
Not bad at all. A number of contenders, and he is amongst them.
Yeah, great effort. No doubt about that. Playing in the last group of a European Tour event on a 3rd round for the first time. Acquitted himself very well, 2 under par 69. Unfortunately, 10 under par, 4 shots behind the lead, but that is not an insurmountable deficit for Jack St. Brown. A lot's going to happen tomorrow. You know, only a couple of guys up there have, been consistent winners, over their careers. There's going to be some frayed nerves on a fun golf course that gives you a lot of options.
Well, George could say has got a golden part of the golf course where from 5 to 11 he's right in the birdie trail. But a 67, 8 under par, 6 back, you never know. But you can see our leaders out again tomorrow together. It was great fun watching Adrianas and Guido Migliozzi tear it up. 13 under par between them, both now 14 under par for the magical Kenya Open. Through the players just outside the top 10. Include Michael Ho. He had a disappointing finish to his round, but I think we're in for an exciting final day. Looking through the scores here, Tony, and a lot of good numbers in there, a lot of rounds in the 60s.
Some really good scoring, but let's not forget there've also been some high scores, some 5 and 6 overs today. It's the nature of the golf course. It's not particularly long, but it is tricky. It is really difficult to shoot low scores the way Migliozzi and Arnas did.
Beautiful day here, great golf. Only place in the world you think, oh, I could play golf in the morning, safari in the afternoon, or vice versa. What a wonderful place.
It is. We're looking forward to an exciting final round of the magical Kenya Open presented by AXA. We look forward to joining you then.
Ontdek de Dacia Duster. Meer Duster dan ooit. Vanaf €18.780. Nu bij de dealer of kijk op dacia.nl. Meteen wegrijden in je nieuwe Dacia? Wij kennen het gevoel. De nieuwe serie Limited Tech Road is nu verkrijgbaar. Tijdelijk bij alle modellen een accessoirecheck ter waarde van €250.
Willen jullie iets proeven? Een keertje proeven?
Nou, lekker.
Ja, lekker hè?
Vlees.
Gewoon draadjes, rundvlees.
Ik best wel veel vlees op zitten. Ja.
Rundvlees.
En als ik dan zeg dat er helemaal geen vlees in zit?
Meen je eruit?
Het is helemaal vegetarisch. Hè? Ja.
Nee.
Nieuw van Mora, de vegetarische kroket. Proef hem en je gelooft het niet.
Kan wel een lussen.
Je denkt, misschien is het tijd voor iets nieuws. Wij kopen auto's.nl. Ontvang de waarde van jouw auto bij de nummer 1 van Nederland. Selecteer eenvoudig je auto op je smartphone en ontvang meteen je taxatie. Voor verkoop maak je een afspraak in een van onze vestigingen. Taxeer jouw auto nu bij wijkopenauto's.nl.
Nieuw van Mora, de vegetarische kroket. Bitterbal en kipcorn. Proef ze en je gelooft het niet.
Today, Anna Whiteley with the Express Italian Renato Paratore, European Tour rookie Kurt Kitayama on his impressive start to the season, and the dramatic climax to the 2012 Open at Royal Lytham and St Anne's. Renato Paratore is possibly the fastest man in professional golf, and he's been speaking to Anna Whiteley about speeding things up on the course.
Pace of play is something that any golfer around the world can definitely work on. So who better to get some tips than the fastest player on the European Tour, Renato Paratore?
Hi.
You are renowned for just how fast your pace of play is. You take no time to step up to the ball. What is the key in all of that for you, do you think?
Well, yes. When I arrived here, before I didn't do practice swing. Now I do only one and just hit the ball. So I try to visualize the shot, one pre-routine, and then just hit my shot.
Yeah, okay, so just one shot. It's all about the visuals. You don't need to go over and over again what you're going to do.
No, yeah, just try to visualize the shot, do one pre-shot routine, and then just hit the ball.
Okay, well, give us a little shot
Okay.
first. Talk us through what you're
So just visualize. I want to aim to the yellow one, then I do a practice swing, and then I play my shot.
Lovely.
So are you
Yeah.
the kind of player who does a more thinking on the range than you do out on the course?
Yeah.
So when you're out on the course,
Yeah.
it's just all about feel.
Yeah, when I am on the course, I try just to visualize the shot and hit the shot or easy as possible. Yeah, and work more on the range, of course.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
make it sound so simple. Do you?
No, it's not simple.
How frustrated have you got, possibly sometimes in the past, in tournament play if you're playing alongside a particularly good
Yeah.
player?
Yeah, I'm being so frustrated a lot.
How does that
But
happen?
yeah, no, I work on it because when I turned pro, I saw the pace of play was slow, so I said if I continue like that, I can play 10 years because I'd be crazy. So now a little slow down. So, but now I said that I am good like that.
Yeah, and for you as a pro, what are the negatives about spending too much time overall, do you think? How can that work against you?
Yeah, well, sometimes also when you are not comfortable on your game, of course, it's much difficult sometimes. But I tried also to just spring my shot and visualize. Yeah.
So we're always at the beginning of the 2018. Have you had a good break, and how have you reflected on your 2018 year so far?
Yeah, well, I spent now 1 month at home. Yeah, at the end it's been a good season, also especially the end of the season. So now I work on the swing. So yeah, ready for the 2019.
Any particular goals?
Now just keep focus on every tournament and try to give my best.
Yeah, give us one more shot, and then I'll get to practice.
The faster I can, okay?
Yeah.
So just visualize. I do a little practice routine. Then hit.
Lovely. Sounds and looks
Okay.
great. Well, have a brilliant year. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For some
Thank you.
brightest stars on the European Tour.
Ciao.
Not too bad, all right.
Meet Kurt Kitayama, a name you may have heard of if you've been watching the European Tour recently. The young American from Chico in California has won twice in his first 11 starts on tour and is already a hot tip to be Rookie of the Year. His first victory came in Mauritius last December, where he looked calm and assured on his way to collecting the Afrasia Bank Mauritius Open. Only a few weeks later in Oman he made it 2 for the season, recovering from a quadruple bogey at the start of his third round to make it a dream start to life on the European Tour. Golfing World caught up with Kitayama to find out more about his golfing journey, which started on America's Web.com tour.
You know, I played the web for 2 years, and then when I missed out in Q school my 3rd year, decided to try something different and went to Asian Tour, and had a really good year, and it just seemed like the best option from there was to try and go from Asian Tour to the European Tour. You know, and that's kind of the route I decided to try.
Based in Las Vegas, Kurt has certainly been racking up the air miles on his travels around the world, but he feels playing outside the US is likely to make him a better player.
Obviously, you know, it seems like the players in the US are ranked a lot higher, but there's still plenty of, you know, a lot of good players on this tour. So it's just really tough to compare. You know, I think there's a lot different golf here compared to the US. You know, in terms of traveling and the jet lag, it's very similar to what I did last year traveling Asia. You know, you kind of go all over, and I just figured it's going to be the same way this year in Europe.
One of Kurt's travelling companions is David Lipsky, a fellow American who won the Alfred Dunhill Championship earlier this season at Leopard Creek, and who's a useful source of advice as someone who also came to the European Tour via Asia.
He's been out here for quite a few years, so it's nice being able to have someone that's done this for a few years and, you know, kind of knows what to do and make it a lot easier. Right now, it's like my 6th week on the road, and I won't be going home until after India, but, you know, I try to go home, you know, whenever I can get a chance, you know, where I have a week off, so wherever I can find those gaps.
More and more US players are taking their chances on the European Tour. In fact, American players have won half of the first 12 tournaments of the 2019 season. One of the pioneers was Brooks Koepka, who played and won on both the Challenge and European Tours before returning home to the US and becoming a 3-time major champion.
You want to continue to, you know, rise the ranks and make it to the next level. And, you know, Brooks has definitely done that, and starting here and going from Europe to PGA is, you know, something you'd want to follow. That's the ultimate goal, you know, be able to make that transition somehow, you know, get my ranks up high enough where I'll, you know, have an opportunity to try and get my PGA Tour card.
With such a strong start to his rookie year on the European Tour, we asked Kurt what his goals are now for the rest of 2019.
I haven't really thought about it, you know, but definitely want to make it to the final event of the year. That race to Dubai, you know, that'd probably be the biggest, you know, goal right now.
In today's edition of My Best Shot, we hear from Frenchman Gregory Havre. Despite being a runner-up at the 2010 US Open, Havre says his most memorable stroke came in the 2007 Scottish Open, where he overcame a star opponent to claim his second European Tour title.
My best shot ever is that drive I hit on the playoff in 2007 in Lochleven Scottish Open against Phil Mickelson. He had the honor there, slightly pushed it on the hazard, and I had to play behind, and obviously that drive was so important. I had to be on the fairway to have a big chance to win, and that's what happened. So yeah, the swing was really good, very good strike, and my heart was beating so hard. So that feeling on the 18th tee, because it was on the 18th hole that playoff, was, I just hardly can't remember because I wasn't really there to, you know, it's kind of moment you just live and do robot things, like, okay, I couldn't see the ball, everything, but I can't tell you exactly what happened in my mind.
Work with Josh Van Boot, mental side. That's a fantastic drive, even better than the one in regulation 20.
I was nervous for sure. I didn't really, at that moment, realize what was going on. It was a huge tournament, huge field. I've played 18 holes with Phil Mickelson as a last group, and he's definitely one of my heroes too. So playing with him and being able to defeat him in the playoff was really something amazing.
I just looked in the mirror and I said, this is it. This is your time to do it. It's the best chance I've ever had to win a medal, and I wanted to do everything I could to try and make it happen, and I certainly did.
In 2016, after 17 years as a pro golfer, Henrik Stenson finally broke his major duck by winning the Open at Royal Troon. The Swede had already achieved several career goals, and just about all that remained was to realise his major dream.
It was a long, hard road, I think. I mean, you've got to have dreams to make things happen, and I remember, I think it was 1991 when Ian Baker Finch won the Claret Jug. That's the first kind of memories I have of watching the Open Championship as a junior, sitting back home in my room and sitting there watching that happen, and then you start dreaming. Like all my colleagues and everyone else, you've been on the chipping green, you've had those putts to win the Claret Jug and all these things, and to go from there to just being part of playing in Open Championships is obviously a big journey and a fun one, and then to take it that final step to actually winning one, and I think I always had that self-belief that I was going to do it. At the same time, it's surreal when it happens. To a small percentage, I guess it was always felt like it was meant to be that way. Might sound cocky, but I felt like I was always going to be able to do it. You can never guarantee these things, but I think just because it's been with me for such a long time, I think that makes it easier to make it happen in the end.
The 2016 Open will be remembered for Stenson's epic Sunday duel with Phil Mickelson, who in the opening round had come close to becoming the first man to shoot a round of 62 in a major. Stenson then shot a second round 65 to move into contention at Troon. On moving day, the two men played well enough to put some daylight between them and the rest of the field, and it looked increasingly likely to become a straight shootout for the Claret Jug on the final day.
I felt like it was match play already on that back nine on Saturday. It was not really going to be anywhere else at that point, unless someone went completely bananas on Sunday morning on the front nine. It was not going to be anyone in the mix really. We got off to a great start, even though I bogeyed the first hole, then I came back with a number of birdies straight off, and Phil almost holed out the second shot on the first and he eagled the fourth, and I remember walking up to the 50, I just looked down, so we've got a pretty good better ball going here already, don't we? And we just kept on trading punches all the way around, and key moments, 14, I'm standing there with my birdie putt, I'm reading my line, and I'm just thinking to myself, he's never going to back down, I know that, he's not going to give this away for free, so if you want to win this tournament, you need to make birdies, and just picked my line and drained it in the middle, and got that 1-stroke lead. That was nice to get at that point, and I don't think Phil was too worried at that point. But then comes 15, and I drained that 51-footer off the fringe, and I think that kind of lowered his spirits quite a lot. I think he realized he was in trouble when I hold that one.
What a putt, Henrik Stenson! Oh, this water, dear, my goodness me. Send me some oxygen.
On 16, I'm thinking, whatever you do, just make 4, because I know he's going to make 4 worse ways. And I mean, we're talking about when is your day and not. You got to have those 10, 15, 20% going your way, whatever it is. And Phil's eagle attempt, I mean, it's millimeters away from going in. It's, I mean, he can't believe he doesn't go in. And the camera's on me when I'm going up, how did that not go in? And then I'm left with this 4.5-footer for birdie. I make that one. I still got that 2 shots lead coming up 17, and then I probably hit the best shot of my career, that 4 never leaves the flag. And it could have been done and dusted there, but given what a fighter Phil is, he missed his shot, didn't get his pitch close, and he still made that 20-footer for par. And I just nearly missed my birdie putt. So it could have been a 3 or 4 shot pushing going up the Baas, and it could have been all about waving to the crowds. But instead, we're still 2 shots up, and it's business all the way to the finish.
You just can't be surprised, can you?
I felt like if I hit iron off the tee, it's going to lead maybe 6-iron to that green. And it's pretty narrow, and I wanted to get it up there. And 3 wood has always been my go-to club, and a solid club for me. And thoughts were that if I leak it, it's going to be a bit weak, so it'll never reach that bunker. And of course, with the adrenaline and everything, I send this absolute rocket towards the bunker, and I think it goes in the bunker because it goes over this little crest, it disappears, and I said to I think that's in. And he's like, yeah, well, I don't like this. And we're walking down the little valley there, and comes up onto one of the further tee boxes, and then I can see over, and I see this little white shiny egg there down on the right hand side, and that was the nicest spotting all day, I'd say.
What's that? A foot? It's the nicest bit of real estate he's ever seen in his life.
We've seen big championships being lost due to lack of concentration or, faulty thought processes right at the crucial time at the end. And I was very determined not to let that happen. I mean, I was going all the way to the finish, and it wasn't until Phil missed his long birdie attempt that came up just a couple of inches short, and then I know I won. I got 3 putts to win, so then you start taking it in. Before then, I didn't want to go there in my mind. So at that point, I realized, okay, I've done it. It's ours. The clear jug is ours, and then I read my putt, because of course you want to try and finish as well as you can. And I didn't have any idea about the record, so that I was tied for the scoring record at that point, and I picked the line on this putt and send it off. I had a big break towards the last little bit, and it falls in kind of sideways, pitching almost to the side, and it's almost like you're just soaking it or letting it all sink in, and then I give it a double fist pump. That one, haven't done that one before. I guess we saved that one for a major.
Henrik Stenson, the Open champion. It's the lowest score anyone has ever made in the Open. 20 under par. What a performance. A round of 63. He took everything Phil Mickelson could throw at him, and on the day, he was just too good.
It was the final piece. Really. I've had a very successful career. I managed to win some great tournaments around the world and be part of Ryder Cup teams and all these wonderful things, but the major was still missing, so to finally get that one, what a moment. So it was something very, very special. It's the best thing I've ever accomplished.
Our series My Hero provides some of the world's top pros with a chance to reveal who inspired them as a young golfer. Today we hear from former Italian Ryder Cup star Costantino Rocca.
golf hero is Tom Watson. I see him in 1983, first time in Troon, when he played British Open. And I see the way he hit the ball, the way he can be aggressive, and the way he can design the hole with his iron, with his strike. Impressed me a lot of that is because even now it's unbelievable the way he hit the ball. He makes me so happy when I play with him in '93 on the British Open in Royal Burley. During the course, every people stand up clapping the hand behind him. The man is a champion on the course and is a very good man outside. And then I have one little story when becoming 50. He called me and I don't recognize his voice because I suppose I have a
fuck.
In America. He called me, hey Costantino, happy birthday, I'm Tom Watson. And they say,
Stupid.
I cannot say that way, because
So
they think it's my friend Luigi, and I said, no, I'm Tom Watson. I cannot speak anymore. Not many people can do that. And for me, always, Tom is my hero. Tom for me is the best.
Lucky boy.
Time now to continue our look back at the 2012 Open Championship at Royal Lytham, and for tournament leader Adam Scott, a restless night's sleep before the final day.
Waking up at 8 o'clock and having to wait till 2 to play. I think I used all my nerves before I even got into the golf course.
Much excitement surrounded the arrival of the contenders. But under the radar slipped a three-time major champion, quietly determined to end 10 years in the wilderness.
I played great yesterday, and how excited are you now about this?
He's such a great player when the contest. He knew the wind was going to blow on Sunday, and I think that was what he wanted, you know, especially as far back as we were, to give us a chance.
For the chasers in need of encouragement, a door opened on the first. Scott dropped the shot, and his playing partner McDowell sensed an opportunity.
All of a sudden I'm thinking, I'll put this puck just to start turning the screw a little bit here. And it was nice, you know, making that putt and walking off to the second tee box thinking, great, you know, that's exactly what I wanted. This is the start I need.
Oh, what?
But Scott's response could not have been more emphatic. The Australian set up a birdie on the second, and despite dropping another shot on the third, didn't lose composure.
The bogeys early rattled me too much. Again, I was hitting good shots. They just didn't quite pan out for me. And no one had come charging out of the blocks either, so there was no need to panic yet.
As always, Tiger was created. Playing alongside him in the penultimate group, Snedeker stayed 7 under, with a battling 3 at the 5th. The man from Tennessee was refusing to buckle. Earlier, with the second, and 4 holes later was staring at the prospect of another, until saved by his short game touch. Off at 9:25, Nicholas Colsaerts was an early starter. His golf would be outstanding.
It was
everything just felt, very smooth, and I was thinking very clearly on every shot.
The Belgian had sprung from the pack with a 65 to establish the clubhouse lead at 1-0.
I got into the recording, and there was this guy in there who never smiled all week. And I've handed him my scorecard, he checks the numbers, looks at me, and goes. So I'm thinking, it was the first sign of what a pretty good round of golf. I got my first top 10 in the major.
While scoring was growing increasingly difficult, Trossards had set the benchmark. Scott led by 3. Snedeker was holding firm, and Woods lurked with intent. On the 6th, Tiger had found the fairway.
Okay, straight. Lucky. Lucky.
1 yard.
Yeah. He had a great second shot in there, and the wind kind of took it just a little bit late. And he's in one of those bunkers, and it's just a complete crapshoot, it's bunkers. We walked around every bunker at the beginning of the week and said, as long as you're in the middle of that bunker, you're okay. Well, unfortunately, you're never in the middle of the bunkers. You're always up against the lips. He fought hard to get that ball out. He did great. He got out in 2. And then he kind of compounded his mistakes by 3-putt. If he just makes double there, not triple, you lose a shot, you lose a couple of shots, that's going to happen. But triple's a killer. It's just tough to get that kind of break on Sunday.
Woods plunged from 6 to 3 under. His title aspirations dealt a crippling blow. It was a fate about to be shared by Snedeker on the 7th.
I couldn't believe what had just happened. It's one of those swings that you make and you just scratch your head and go, what was that? Never seen that before. Can't remember the last time I did that. It's about as easy as it gets. What do you do? Creeped up at the wrong time on Sunday. That's just what happens in majors, They examine every part of your game.
As Snedeker ran up a 7, Woods displayed the mental steel for which he's renowned. Tiger's ambitions were still just about alive, but Snedeker's died when another crooked tee shot on the 8th ended up a second successive double bogey.
I hit a good shot down the right side, the wind just grabbed it, took it straight left in that bunker. That's just where you can't hit it. Anytime you double holes in majors, you're giving up way too many. When you get double there, it's just a killer.
McDowell had parred the 5th, but having missed the green, Scott faced a test of nerve to match his playing partner. McDowell and Scott would bogey the 6th, but even so, Scott remained where he had been overnight, 4 shots clear, and the man to beat. McDowell badly needed high pressure, and did so on the 8th. Scott made only par, presenting the Ulsterman with a putt to close the gap. After a slow start, McDowell was finally building momentum. Els, however, was in danger of surrendering.
Bogey at 9 is a very soft bogey. I mean, 9 is one of the easiest off the river. And I missed it at an 8-footer for par. I still felt I was in the game for some crazy reason. I just said, I'm going to play this back 9 as aggressive and as...
6 adrift of Scott. Els had set it back to 3 under.
Well, that was a shortish putt. Those are the kind of putts that I've been missing. So, making the putt right in the middle with good speed gave me so much confidence.
Els parred the next before breathing even more life in his revival on the 12th.
It came out perfect. It came out on the breeze, up the bank, I mean, really close. It's one of those putts you should make in your sleep, but you know, under open pressure, it's a whole different story.
The story had taken a new twist. Els now trailed Scott by only 4. McDowell was 3 behind the leader until the 9th.
Pulled the wrong club probably. You know, I hit 9-iron trying to hit a little baby cut 9-iron in there. You know, in hindsight, it was a wedge shot all day. I one-hopped over the back and made bogey, and it was a real momentum stopper.
As McDowell digested his mistake, Scott was again in realistic birdie range. He didn't capitalise, but it appeared not to matter. The Australian remained 4 clear. McDowell's error on the 9th was compounded by another drop shot on the 10th.
Having come off bogeys on 9 and 10, to try to play the hole very aggressively. And for some reason, I just had bad pictures in my head at 11 all week. I had this phobia of this right-hand side of this fairway. I don't know why. You know, and all of a sudden at the last minute on that swing on 11th on Sunday, flat, pull hooked it into the only few places in the golf course where the ball's going to be unfindable and unplayable. You know, my race was run, and all of a sudden, you know, there wasn't enough time left for me to try and get back in the game.
Scott was keeping the challengers at bay with a succession of pars.
I was playing fairly conservative for most of the day Sunday and making sure I gave myself a couple putts at par, and par was never going to hurt me because no one was charging.
On the back 9 though, Tiger threatened to. After a birdie at the 10th, another followed at the short 12th. He was creeping closer to the lead. Wilson held his game on, and so did Els. But McDowell's hopes were fading. Scott, though, stayed very much in command of his own destiny.
God damn it.
Royal Lytham's 14th hole can be a brute. But with the wind helping, Els gave himself a chance to move within 3 of the lead.
Putt on 14, that was a big putt. Because there was another one just to keep a little momentum going. You just feel the energy raising all the time, and people were out of the stands again. I just felt the energy of the whole place where I was at that time was just.
After par on the 15th, then his choice of driver on the 16th looked to have backfired. Having ricocheted off a fence, he found the rough. His hopes of a much-needed birdie diminished. Back on the 14th, Scott was weighing up a putt that would see him improve to 10 under. Els chipped out, but he had to settle for a par, missing a clear opportunity to make up ground. Scott now had a putt to move 4 clear. His grip on the title had never seemed tighter.
There are moments in Open Championships which are key moments when you look back on them, and it's almost as if the gods have got involved. At that point, I think Scott, in his mind, said, okay, I'm Open Champion.
Tiger was now out of the reckoning after making 3 consecutive bogeys from the 13th. His fall left Scott and Els in a 2-horse race. With a closing round of 69, world number 1 Luke Donald finished 2 under for the championship. Donald was on course for a top 5 result. So was Snedeker. Els continued to prove stubborn, but Scott was almost there. Pars were now priceless, but on the 15th, a 4 is never easy to achieve. Having found a greenside bunker, Scott chipped out, leaving himself an 8-foot putt for par.
Those moments where it's coming down to the wire and you've got the lead and making a par putt like that, it's a huge momentum thing. It's almost like birdie at that point.
So slow.
I saw Scotty walking over to the 16th green, and I saw he had his head down a little bit. So I realised that he must have bogeyed 15.
Even so, there was no cause for panic. Scott led by 3 and was safely on the 16th green for 2. On the 17th, Els putted for birdie. One hole back, Scott also putted.
Well, the first putt surprised me a bit, but it kept breaking to the left at the end. I felt it was going to stay very straight or even go to the right as the hole, but it was a bit short and just kept breaking left. I felt it was a left-centre putt with the wind blowing hard left to right, and I think I hit a fairly good putt, and it just spun out.
I don't think he bogeyed the 16th as a point, but I think everybody around thought, uh-oh, you know, this could happen.
Now only 2 shots adrift, Els had struck the ideal tee shot to attack the flat on the 18th.
I only had about 104 or 5 yards or something, but at that stage I had to give myself an opportunity to putt.
It was only once he'd hit the second shot. When we started walking up, I looked at the board and I said to him, Ernie, look at the board. And all of a sudden, Adam was going down 17 and he was only 18.
If Ernie can birdie the 18th, that makes those last 2 holes play a little bit longer for Adam. And all of a sudden, they stretched for miles.
Fucking dead straight.
God damn it.
I will never ever forget that feeling when that putt went in. I think it was the loudest roar of my career. The ball just never left the hole.
I mean, the roar from the crowd was absolutely amazing. There's no feeling like that. And I just thought, well, you know, there's still a chance here, even in a playoff. I wasn't thinking that that was the putt that was going to win him the Open Championship.
Hearing the roar of Ernie now, it's fact. I've got to make 2 4s to win the Open. I never really got super nervous. I felt I had everything under control. Played the last 2 very solid.
Adam probably made his biggest long game mistake of the day on 17. The second shot to that left pin. Just did what he can't do. He can't mess up in left. His long game had been totally in control, and when I saw that ball in the air, I thought, you know, the alarm bell started ringing in my head. You know, if Ernie just buried the last, I'm thinking, I was making bogey here, and the last is no game par, and it started to get kind of tough to watch at that point.
that's the one I'd like to have over again out of them all, because my strategy for the hole was short and right, and I hit the ball along the left. It wasn't the worst shot, it was a bad shot given the circumstances.
Even then, a par would have maintained his one-shot lead. As Elle saw a playoff looming, Scott had this to stay alone at the top. It never threatened.
Again, a little misread on that putt. It looked like it was coming down the hill to the right to me, but I think it was running so straight on the ridge, it just never moved right.
Scott and Els were now tied for the lead. On the last green, Snedeker had a putt to share third with playing partner Woods. The 36-hole leader had supplied much entertainment. But so had Tiger, who would occupy the top three in a major for the 24th time. Back on the 18th tee, Scott faced a club selection dilemma.
Lots of people said to me that they were surprised at Adam's club selection on 18. It's tough to know what to hit off that tee box. There's no way to take trouble completely out of play. When I saw him out with 3 wood, it's not like I'm standing there in the tee box going, you know, where's he going with this? He had swung it so well. It wasn't like our alarm bells were going off. I was like, well, he just needs to put a good swing on this. To me, it wasn't a wrong club.
Wrong club or not, Scott's ball came to rest in the worst place imaginable. Reaching the green was now out of the question.
I was actually trying to go with my wife, and then Paul came to me with you on the roof, and he just said to me, "Now you go into the bunker." Then I thought, "Ooh, this could be a real turnaround." Yeah, at that point, it's, you know what you have to do. You've just got to get it up and down. I was falling down dead in line with the pin. As it landed, it looked like it was getting the bounce up close, but maybe the wind was just hurting a touch and it landed quite soft. Still a really good shot under the circumstances, because at that point I've just got to give myself a chance to make a putt to make a playoff.
The crowd's reaction was appreciation mixed with sympathy. An hour before, Scott was set to lift the claret jug. Now, his fate hung on a single putt. Ernie wasn't looking. He only needed to listen.
I was either going to hear Phil Mickelson roar of 2004 at the Masters, or I was going to hear the crowd, when you missed the putt. I knew the situation. This is a putt to get in a playoff for the Open, probably the biggest putt in my career. It's a great moment. It's what you practice for, and the whole day I was such a feeling inside my body. It was strange, I was very confident with what I was doing and felt like things were falling into place, so that's how I felt over that putt.
Less than an inch, and with it, Adam Scott's dream of winning the 141st Open had gone.
I was disappointed. I could think clearly enough to understand. I think the last 4 holes, I let this tournament slip through my fingers, really. I try not to live life with regrets or golf with regrets. I I wish I'd won the Open. I still can't even imagine what that feels like. But I believe more in my golf game than I ever did before.
Almost seems unfair. This is a player who played really hard and played really, really well, and seemed as if his name was already on that claret jar. And I think the class of Adam Scott is the way he dealt with it afterwards. He didn't have to come into the press centre, but he did. That's the measure of the man. That is the measure of the man.
Well, it was, a very sloppy finish by me. You got to play some good shots to win these golf tournaments, and I wasn't able to do that in the last few holes. Sure, I'm very disappointed.
He will go away, he'll lick his wounds, and he's quite laid back, actually. He'll probably go back home, get his surfboard out and go surfing.
I really do view the week as such a positive move for me. For so long, I never even contended in majors. In the last 2 years, I've really been a contender. So I'm going in the right direction, and this might be the one last piece of the puzzle for me to get what I really want out of the game.
He posted 3 outstanding rounds in the 60s, but a closing 75 wasn't good enough. Scott had been undone by 4 heartbreaking holes and a superb back 9 from a veteran without a major title for 10 years.
A lot of the press, a lot of the media, and a lot of the people out there were like, he's done, he's washed up. He doesn't have it.
Well, it means everything because of where we were. I was really gone, and through a lot of work, a lot of perseverance, if you want to call it that, and a lot of help from a lot of people around me, a lot can be achieved.
The winner of the gold medal and the champion golfer of the year is Ernie Els.
I first of all thought of Adam. I've been in that position. I've done exactly what he's done. And I know that feeling, and it's not a great feeling.
Well, first of all, my buddy Adam Scott.
He was genuinely feeling for me, although he must have been really excited to win the Open.
Scotty, you're a great player, great friend of mine, and you're going to win many of these. Get too much.
He was really fine in his words. It's nice of him to do that at that moment when it should just be elation for him, and I was the guy to kind of tone it down a little bit, I guess.
Hey, my other guy, Ricky Roberts, is like a brother of mine, and without his help, I would never have done this. I know he looks 60, but he's only 48.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit cheeky there. I mean, he's not actually a spring chicken himself, is he? It's just huge for him. Absolutely huge. But from where he was to achieve that, just absolutely phenomenal. He's just given him such a belief that he can go on from here. He's so talented, so gifted. I was thinking another 2, 3, 4 majors. Proves a lot of people that, not just in sport, but in life, just keep fighting, keep battling. You just never get in. Because you never know what's around the corner.
Come on, birdie.
Well, that's it for now, but there's much more from Golfing World Online. Next time, Stenson shares his ball striking secrets, and Nick Faldo talks course design in Vietnam.
Bueno. Een krokante verleiding met lichte hazelnutvulling en heerlijke chocolade. Perfect voor een knapperige pauze. Mijn moment. Mijn bueno. Nog meer genieten? Probeer nu Bueno White.
Welke Nissan u ook kiest, zijn intelligente technologie is altijd inclusief. Maar ook 4 jaar garantie, onderhoud en pechhulp. Kom langs tijdens de Nissan Make the Move actieweek.
Alright, there we are.
Profiteer van scherpe Nissan all-inclusive deals, zoals de Nissan Micra vanaf €199 per maand.
Hi, can I have a Coca-Cola, please?
With sugar or without sugar?
Either. I just love Coke.
Na elk Formule 1 weekend de scherpste analyses in Pep Talk.
Jij weet zo verschrikkelijk veel.
Ik moet diep gaan met mijn analyses, maar dat is mooi om te horen. En een exclusief interview met Max Verstappen. Maandag op de Sport Select.
When you come to an event like this and you're playing the tournament on a large scale, it feels like major.
The world famous stage.
It's the best field we play on here, and obviously on a golf course that tests every player.
Where monumental moments reverberate throughout the stadium.
There's a lot of history, and people can remember certain golf shots that people have hit over the past.
Need the right club today.
The strongest field is gathered for the purest test in golf.
I have 2 crystal ones at home, and this would be nice to add to it.
The stage is set. Where you're not just a champion. You're a player's champion. This is the Players. The PGA Tour is proud to bring you the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, the second round coverage of the Players.
We zien Jackson Hadley, een van de betere putters op de PGA Tour. Eens kijken of je dat hier kan laten zien. Hij heeft wat birdies nodig, staat +3. De cut op dit moment -2. Dus vrij lage cut voor dit Players Championship. Maar goede spelers daarbuiten, Matsuyama, Kupka. En ook ja, bijvoorbeeld Justin Rose. Anton Lee maakte gisteren 69. Staat vandaag +3 voor de dag. En ook een matige dag voor Alex Morin. Die maakte +4 na de -2 gisteren. Dus dat wordt missed cut voor Morin. Corey Connors, put voor par op de 14e. Belangrijke put dit, om 2 te blijven. De scores zijn goed. Dit jaar op de Players Championship lijkt erop dat het een on-the-par cut zal gaan worden. En dat is indrukwekkend golf van deze mannen op een hele moeilijke golfbaan. Naar 9. John Rahm gaat voor de green. Over de bomen daar aan de linkerkant heeft hij de hoogte, zo te zien niet, maar hij gaat er wel doorheen. ondanks dat hij de hole uitlikt, is het niet echt een geweldige chip van de ACR.